Yang Mi's cousin was abducted to a mountain village. Yang Mi personally broadcasted the rescue, and after entering the village, it's eye-opening. This village is really dark. The ticket starts at 18,888 yuan, which is just the beginning of the fee. The carriage costs 188,888 yuan, while the night costs 18,888 yuan. The Milky Way Drifting Starting at 100 million, Starry Sky Pirate ShipThis village is really cruel. Dozens of meters of mecha, be the gatekeeper. There are also starry cannons on the mountaintop. Missile launch vehicleEverything is about eating peanuts. This village really wants to get married. Full of security. Villagers are being bullied, and there is a team of the world's best lawyers. Is it not feasible to reason abroad? The temple of Baga Kingdom has been demolished for you, but Eagle Sauce is not satisfied. The Black Palace will push you down. Give no face to anyone. Only spoil the people of this village. Even top-tier actresses such as Yang Mi and Reba, Dulai stayed in the village and didn't want to leave, warming the bed for the village chief Yun Feng. The most terrifying village chiefFeilu novel network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Yang Mi's cousin was abducted and trafficked. Yang Mi will personally go. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hello everyone. Today, I happen to be resting. I plan to give everyone some benefits and visit my cousin's place. Tell everyone, my cousin is even more beautiful than me. However, she didn't want to be a celebrity and ended up marrying into a mountain valley. I don't know what she thinks. Today, I'm just going to persuade her. So as not to live in regret in the future. Similar to the Blue Star continent, since Yang Mi opened her own studio, I have been busy with work all along. This time, it was also the parents who were pressing hard. In addition, my cousin is indeed too beautiful. After graduating from college, I accidentally went on a trip to the mountains and didn't want to come back. She suspected that her cousin must have been deceived by the people in the village. So, I wanted to pull my cousin out of the demon cave. Sleeping slot. No way, there's actually a woman more beautiful than Miss Me. Marrying into the village. It's just a waste. If it's really what Miss Me said, she can marry into a wealthy family at will. Miss Me, I must have my wife rescue me. I am your brother.in.law. Upstairs, we have a 1.on.1 fight and dare to steal my girlfriend. Lie down. Yang Mi's traffic, it has always been quite terrifying. Her live broadcast, as soon as it opened, naturally received countless people's pursuit. Plus, today happens to be the weekend, don't have too many people coming in to watch the live broadcast. Miss Honey, are you lacking bodyguards? In that poor mountain valley, I heard many people buy wives. If you go in, you can still come out. Yes. I've heard of it before. This time, I think my cousin must have been under house arrest in the village. Do you want to call the police? Countless people are persuading Yang Mi not to take two risks. If something happens, we must seek the assistance of detectives carefully. Don't worry. Everyone watch my live broadcast, if something happens to me, everyone will definitely know. And I sent a location message to my parents. I believe there won't be any danger with so many people around. Yang Mi comforted everyone. And she also greeted the local security department. If something happens to her here, it will definitely have an extremely negative impact. This time, we must ensure Yang Mi's safety. If that village really puts female college students under house arrest, they must be banned. We absolutely cannot tarnish our local reputation, understand? The local security department, Director Zhao Gang is assigning tasks. Understood. Countless special police officers have been mobilized and boarded the police car. Surround the village in groups. As long as Yang Mi's live broadcast is interrupted, they will immediately rush in without hesitation to rescue the person. There are millions of people watching the live broadcast. If something happens, they can't afford it. Here we go, that's it. I'm just too tired, the road was bumpy all the way. If it weren't for my cousin, I wouldn't want to come to this damn place. After the car comes to a stop, Yang-mi couldn't help but complain. The village where Yang-mi came is called Xianyun Village. It is said that the village is shrouded in clouds and mist all year round, and the village has specially changed its name for this. The mountain road is very winding. It took nearly 4 hours by bus just from the county to Xianyun Village. Yang-mi felt her whole body being shaken apart. Especially when the front is too heavy. After shaking all afternoon, she felt a strange sensation. There is an impulse to shake more. Yang-mi finally suppressed this impulse. Now it's live streaming. I can't be so shameful. She also started the live broadcast just as she was about to reach her destination. Wow, the air here is so fresh. I feel like my body's fatigue dissipated a lot after breathing in the air here. It's amazing. It is indeed a natural oxygen bar. After Yang-mi got off the car, taking a deep breath, he immediately showed a look of intoxication. Especially in the villages ahead, everything is enveloped by clouds and mist, like a fairyland on earth. Yang-mi had an eager desire to go inside and take a look. At the entrance of the village, there is a huge archway. This is like an ancient top scholar building, blocking the only entrance to the village. The archway, on the other hand, is embedded on a small path between the two mountains. On both sides of the building, the two huge peaks seem to have been flattened by something. And in this mountain, it is a stone sculpture with two giant mech-like structures. Vivid and lifelike. It has opened everyone's eyes. Sleeping trough. It's really like a fairyland. In such a place, if I stay in the city for a long time, I also want to stay for a long time. This mech stone is carved to life and looks handsome. It should take several years to carve it out, right? Fool, nowadays we all use machines to carve, and it's estimated that it can be done in a few months. Yes, both sides can be constructed simultaneously. This mech-like stone carving, the height reaches 60 or 70 meters, like a giant. Human beings appear extremely insignificant in front of it. None of them are as big as a toe. This kind of project is really too laborious and costly. Take the people's hard-earned money seriously. We also have some tourist bases built here that were abandoned in just a few months. This mainly depends on their performance. As for whether they can operate well in the future, who cares? Indeed. Just get the subsidy. Countless people complain about these tourist attractions. Countless villages across the country, they have all engaged in similar tourism before. Spending hundreds of millions of investments resulted in very few people coming. Even if they haven't heard of it at all. Finally, it only harms ordinary people. Their land and resources can no longer be restored. I can only swallow tears into my stomach. P.S. Please provide support for counting tickets, gentlemen. Thank you, the wealthy fathers. Chapter 2. Black Heart Scenic Spots, with a ticket of 18800 yuan. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. It seems that this is a tourist attraction. But strangely, why is there no annotation on the tourist map? Yang-mi's words, many people were stunned. Some also checked and found that it was really like this. If it is really a tourist attraction, there will definitely be annotations. After all, many people nowadays are smart and don't like to travel in groups. And they will choose to travel by themselves, backpacks, special forces tours, and other means. While saving time, you can also visit your favorite scenic spots. Maybe it hasn't been built yet. I don't know, but looking at this mech carving, it seems like it's a bit old. Many people are discussing. Yang-mi has arrived at the front guard of that archway. There is an old man with a cane sitting there listening to the radio. For Yang-mi's arrival, just glanced at her and didn't pay any attention to her, but continued to listen to the opera on the radio. It seems that Yang Mi's allure, in his eyes, it is not as charming as a traditional Chinese opera. Yang Mi naturally cannot argue like an elderly person. She also understands, these elderly people don't really enjoy watching TV dramas, it's normal not to know her. Grandpa. I want to go into the village. Help me buy a ticket. Yang Mi took a deep breath and said to the gatekeeper. Girl, there's nothing fun in the village. It's really expensive again. I think you might as well go to the village ahead to play, the scenery there is also beautiful. It's not easy for adults at home to earn money. The old man chuckled, exposed only a few teeth. Looking at Yang Mi's appearance, although she was wearing long jeans and a white shirt, but it still perfectly highlights her beauty and figure. The old man looked at it. I thought this was a college student from somewhere. He usually chooses to discourage those who lack the ability to consume. Grandpa. I'm not short of money. Can you buy me a ticket? I want to go into the village and have a look. When the old man said so, Yang Mi not only did not give up. Instead, it became even more determined. She suspects there must be some shady activities in this village. Otherwise, how could it possibly extrapolate business? My own cousin. It must be trapped in the village. Okay. 18888 just scan here directly. Good words are hard to persuade damn ghosts. The old man has said so, but Yang Mi has not given up. He didn't persist anymore. After all, he is also from the village. He was still very happy when someone sent money to the village. His front teeth were laughing so hard that they almost fell off. What? 188.8 million. Nima, how dare you ask a price? So black. I think this kind of place should be banned. Damn it, even dish mud isn't as black as you are. If it doesn't open for a year, open for a year and eat. This is a plan to kill Miss Me to death. We must firmly complain about such scenic spots. In the live broadcast room, countless people expressed great anger. All go to the local Cultural and Tourism Bureau for complaints. Condemn the shameless behavior of Xianyun village. You're not mistaken, sir. Even Yang Mi frowned slightly upon hearing this value. She believes that this is definitely the most expensive scenic spot in the world. Just enter the door. Surprisingly, they all cost 18888. This is so special. Did you enter the immortal realm? Of course. Girl, it doesn't matter if you don't have money. You can come again next time. The old man saw Yang Mi hesitating. I suddenly thought she had no money. The smile on his face has also disappeared. Immediately turned around to get its radio, intending to listen to another segment of traditional Chinese opera. We can't waste any more time. No money. It's not worth him giving up on traditional Chinese opera for free. Grandpa. I'll buy one. Yang Mi saw the old man's appearance, bite one's teeth. I directly scanned the code and bought a ticket. The old man immediately grinned, exposed the only two remaining front teeth, passively speaking to Yang Mi. Girl, I know you're extraordinary just by looking at you. She has an outstanding temperament and must be a daughter from a wealthy family. Do you want to take the village transportation to get in? There are still 5 miles to go from here to the village. The old man warmly recommended local transportation to Yang Mi. Riding horses, riding a cow. There are also carriages and ox carts. Such a quaint mode of transportation also left the audience in the live broadcast room stunned. This is so special. Not even a modern means of transportation. Is it okay to charge 18,800 yuan? Sleeping trough. Look, there's a price list over there, and riding a horse costs 18,000 yuan. 8,800 and 800 riding oxen. The carriage costs 180,000 yuan. The ox cart costs 16,800 yuan. And those who carry sedan chairs will cost 88,000 yuan. It's really dark. This must be intentional. Paralyzed, the cars in our scenic area only cost a few tens of yuan to enter, and they were all scolded to death. Haha. This is probably going to be trampled to death. 5 miles away, for a celebrity, it's simply a hellish challenge. Yes, I usually can't walk 5 miles. In the live broadcast room, after countless people saw this price list, my eyes were filled with jealousy. If they don't complain about this kind of price list and this kind of scenic spot being banned, that's not a versatile keyboard warrior. Their sense of justice immediately erupted. Captain, what do you think we should do? Do you want to dismantle this door? This price is too dark, isn't it? Even the director's son wouldn't dare to be so unreasonable. The captain gave the person a fierce glare, that person immediately shut up. Indeed, this metaphor is not appropriate. Fortunately, there was no live broadcast here, otherwise he might have been invited to tea by the director. Chapter 3. The Cultural and Tourism Bureau is under too much pressure. Black-hearted villages want. You are listening at novelfull.audio. No need. We are special police officers, and these things are under the management of the Cultural and Tourism Bureau. Don't make unnecessary mistakes. Special Police Captain Yun Feng said. I understand. Yang Mi standing there at this moment, looking at the price list handed over by the old man, she has an impulse to tear down the person who set the price. That, old man. Can I walk in? Yang Mi asked. She felt like she was just a fat sheep. I can't bear to be slaughtered like this. I am wealthy, but not a scapegoat. If you are truly willing to pay, you will definitely be ridiculed by netizens. She's not stupid. I know I can't be manipulated by anyone. Walk in. If you can do it. You can come in and see for yourself, see if it works. The old man did not persuade her either. Yang Mi also walked into the door very dissatisfied. After entering the gate, discovered a huge lawn here, there are several cows and horses above, leisurely eating tender grass. On that huge lawn, there are also several quaint sedan chairs in place. Entering here feels like entering a grassland. Yang Mi couldn't help but sigh upon seeing it, the grassland on the sea of clouds, it's really beautiful. Yang Mi sighed as she slowly walked forward. On the lawn, there were even several adult men sitting together playing cards. After they saw Yang Mi, after just lifting his eyes, he ignored her. This strange scene, it also makes the audience somewhat puzzled. Sleeping slot. These young people, seeing Miss Mi, surprisingly don't move. Yeah, surprisingly no one approached to strike up a conversation. If it were in our county, Miss Mi would have been surrounded long ago. Indeed, this village is so strange. Not only do the audience feel strange, even Yang Mi herself is like this. She is also a top-tier actress, not only is she famous, but her figure is also incredibly sexy. I didn't even wear a mask today, a stunning face unfolded before everyone's eyes. How could no one come forward to strike up a conversation? With great curiosity, Yang Mi also furrowed her pretty eyebrows. However, she is also not close to these villagers. Because they are all 7 or 8 young people, if they really want to do something to her, it's too late to regret it. Yang Mi walked slowly forward. After walking about 500 meters, she felt her face turn pale. Quickly took a few steps back. The audience in the live broadcast room also quickly looked over, only then did I realize. In front is a cliff, below is a vast abyss, and bottomless sea of clouds. Just looking down from Yang Mi's perspective, at least a few hundred meters. At this moment, the audience suddenly realized. Sleeping trough. There's no way out. How do we get into the village? Yeah, if someone sells into this village, they won't have a chance to come out in their lifetime. Miss Mi's cousin must have been tricked into entering the village. Yes. Honey, don't go in, it's dangerous inside. In the live broadcast room, countless people looked at the bottomless valley ahead. The layers of clouds are very thick, standing here seems to give people an illusion of being in the clouds. Yang Mi couldn't help but be stunned. What kind of ghost place is this? Why haven't you seen it before? Yeah, isn't there a cement road connecting every village now? What's going on in this village? Even those species warriors looked bewildered. They hope Yang Mi doesn't take risks, otherwise, if you go in, you won't be able to come out. They couldn't have imagined that there was not even a serious road here. I will immediately request headquarters to dispatch a helicopter over. Definitely not enough to cause trouble for Yang Mi. The special police captain gritted his teeth. This time, it was used to rescue Yang Mi's cousin who was abducted. They dispatched special police in the hope of rescuing people. However, Yang Mi's cousin does not admit to being abducted. You can make phone calls normally. It's not appropriate to arrest someone directly without understanding the situation. After all, they also need evidence when arresting people. Headquarters. The situation here. Immediately dispatch a helicopter to assist. Special Police Captain Yun Feng dare not neglect. Report the situation here to headquarters immediately. The headquarters also immediately dispatched armed helicopters. After all, they were also watching the entire live broadcast. This kidnapping that affects the whole country. If Yang Mi's sister is not perfectly rescued, their county will become famous. By then, it will be smearing the entire detective community. They can't bear such a responsibility. Received by headquarters. 2 helicopters have been dispatched. Everything follows your command. On the headquarters side, it was also to immediately remove the only 2 armed helicopters in the city. They were all transferred directly to this side. However, it will take another half hour to fly over. We need to ask Yun Feng to contact Yang Mi, let her rest here for a while before entering the village. Otherwise, if something really happens, even the yellow cauliflower will be cold. Half an hour, Yang Mi has been defiled by someone. If such a thing really happens, they may not be able to bear the anger of fans across the country. When the time comes, it will bring a heavy blow to the local tourism industry. Wang Xiaojiang from the Municipal Bureau of Culture and Tourism. I immediately called the Yunshan County Bureau of Culture and Tourism, Zhao Taizhu. Can you work hard? My phone number has been blown up by the city leaders. Immediately order you to seal off that Xianyun village. The price is so outrageous, how did you approve it? Are you really trying to kill me? Give you an hour. If you don't handle it properly, don't be the director. Wang Xiaojiang finished cursing. Chapter 4. Unable to seal, special tourist scenery approved by the province. You are listening at novel full.audio. I hung up the phone in anger. Zhao Taizhu from the County Bureau of Culture and Tourism was also scolded and confused. Check, hurry up and go check for me. What's going on in Yunxian village? Which person on horseback approved it? I'm not finished with him. Zhao Taizhu, who had been scolded with a face full of anger, I directly called Director Zhang from the County Bureau of Culture and Tourism, and the live broadcast scolded him to the bone. Director Zhang also broke out in a cold sweat upon hearing this. He was wearing thick myopia glasses, wiping his sweat while ensuring. Director. I will investigate immediately. I will definitely give you an explanation. Director Zhao finished speaking. I just ran out like a fart. After about 10 minutes, he came back again. What, have we investigated thoroughly? Who approved it? Whoever it is, immediately go and seal off that Cloud Immortal village for me. Minimize influence. Looking at Director Zhang standing there, Zhao Taizhu roared at him. These people are usually good at flattering each other. When we really need them, no one is useful. Director, check. It's clear. However, there's no way to ban it. Zhao Taizhu trembled all over and wiped the cold sweat from his face, saying. Can't we seal it? Why, which other young master in the city can't do it? When has it been? If we don't handle it anymore, the province will be held accountable. Quickly seal it off for me first. We'll talk about the rest later. Zhao Taizhu roared. This kid doesn't know how to become a director. He wished he could be kicked to the end immediately. Besides being timid and afraid of things. You flatter me. He doesn't even have the ability to talk nonsense. However. That's right too. But anyone with some skills will not be stuffed into the Cultural and Tourism Bureau. This is a clear water yamen. Usually there is no meat or fish at all. Many people have decided to cooperate with businessmen. Many places become tourist attractions because of the drive of interests. Director. This Yunxian village scenic area is specially approved by the province. And it's also stamped with the provincial party committee's seal, we can't even remove it. Look. Director Zhang finished speaking, I dare not neglect it, and immediately handed the document with the red seal to Zhao Taizhu. After Zhao Taizhu looked at it, I also vaguely remember that it seemed like this was indeed the case. It just seems like it was a few months ago, and no one has been there or paid attention to it before. So, he gradually forgot. I didn't expect it to explode today. Is Yunxian village still related to the province? How could this be possible? Zhao Taizhu said with a puzzled expression. He also doesn't understand, such a remote and impoverished tomb. How could someone be interested in it? No. That Yunxian village is just a group of ordinary villagers. Director Zhang quickly shook his head. No. How could this be possible? So how can he get direct approval from the province? Zhao Tieju's face was full of doubt. Director Zhang was driving inexplicably. Director. It is written here that this scenic area is independently operated by the village and has independent pricing power. The province does not allow any intervention. As long as this is achieved, the village will provide 500 billion yuan in tax revenue to the province in the first year, and after the second year, provide a minimum annual tax revenue of over 1 trillion yuan. It is a pilot scenic area approved by the provincial government. Upon hearing Director Zhang's report, Zhao Taizhu was so shocked that his eyes were about to pop out. 500 billion. 1 trillion. How could this be possible? Playing. Zhao Taizhu felt like it was a fantasy. He thinks. The people in the province must have been deceived by the villagers. What kind of village can provide such high taxes? Even the wealthiest village, Huaxi village, it is also impossible to provide more than 10 billion. This is simply unheard of. Director. The leaders in the province are not fools. This year's 500 billion yuan has already been paid by Yunxian village, although they have not publicly promoted the opening. But all the money has been paid, do you think the province may spit out the money it has eaten? Upon hearing Director Zhang's words, Zhao Taizhu also quickly and carefully reviewed the document. It is indeed stated that, the condition that the province agrees to special approval is that the village pays the first year's money first. Otherwise, it is impossible for the province to take such a risk for a village. Sigh. I will report this matter to the city immediately. Don't worry about the account of the Cultural and Tourism Bureau for now. We pretend to know nothing. Zhao Taizhu waved his hand, then let Director Zhang leave. He immediately called the Municipal Bureau of Culture and Tourism. Wang Xiaojiang was also confused when he received the phone call. Upon hearing Zhao Tieju's explanation, he suddenly woke up as if from a dream. He is even more aware of this matter than Zhao Taizhu. At that time, he has also attended this conference in the province. It's just that. He's just too busy to take this small place to heart. Now it seems. Stay put. The province must also know. Let's not pour oil on the fire. Wang Xiaojiang immediately made a decision. He suddenly realized. Why hasn't the province called to curse so far? It seems so. The leaders in the province have long held on to their money. What a special thing. With this 500 billion in hand, this year's GDP in the province will definitely surpass that of surrounding provinces. This outrageous wealth. Who doesn't want to catch it? So, even if you're going to get scolded, endure it. No big deal. If you don't go, that's it. Hashtag suggestion from the Provincial Bureau of Culture and Tourism. If the price is too expensive, you can skip it. Hashtag quickly, this news has been trending. As a result, more people entered Yang Mi's live broadcast room. Sleeping trough. What's wrong with this horse riding? How could the Cultural and Tourism Bureau ignore it? It's so expensive, there's really no need to go. If everyone doesn't go, it will naturally go bankrupt. Chapter 5. Emperor Green Sign, this village has some evil cults. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Yeah, there's no need to go all out for such a village. On the internet, with the guidance of many people from the Cultural and Tourism Bureau, netizens immediately felt relieved. No one went to besiege the accounts of the Cultural and Tourism Bureau anymore. The directors of the local Cultural and Tourism Bureau breathed a heavy sigh of relief. It's just that. On Yang Mi's side, she will definitely not give up on rescuing her sister. Honey, even if you spend more money, you still have to go in. Yes. If it's really abducted, the money can be refunded then. Yeah, just consider it a free trip. In the live broadcast room, everyone is persuading Yang Mi. I hope she doesn't give up. After all, everyone wants to see a cousin who is even more beautiful than Yang Mi. Well, Grandpa, I want to take a carriage over there. Do you think it's okay? Yang Mi looked at this towering cliff. She returned directly to the gatekeeper. Although I feel unhappy in my heart, I cannot vent my resentment on the old man. After all, he is just a gatekeeper. The one who deserves to be scolded must be the one in this village. The cloud breeze in Yunxian village. I heard that he is in charge of the entire Yunxian village. Of course you can. After paying, go over there and there will be a dedicated person to drive the carriage for you. The old man laughed so hard that his front teeth were leaking again. There's no way. Finally, a villain came in, and I'm not willing to give up. This requires a lot of effort. Otherwise. This ghost village, that's the quote. It's probably hard to come across such a villain in a year. And it's still a carriage ride. I usually hesitate when I see this price. Yang Mi also feels that she is not good at riding horses on such cliffs. I estimate that my legs will soften when I see them myself. Still sit on the carriage, it's safer. In the village, it's impossible to leave her off the cliff. Okay. Yang Mi nodded. I paid directly using express payment. Girl, take it. This is a voucher for riding a carriage. After hearing the payment prompt, the old man immediately gave her a card. That is a beautiful carriage card, vivid and vivid, it was carved from a jade plaque. Sleeping slot. This is a special imperial green carriage sign. Just this horse license plate is worth a fortune, at least worth millions. No, you're not mistaken, are you? According to the notes, our home is the largest jade and stone trading center in Yunnan province, and we take over too much imperial green every year. This is indeed Emperor Green, my family runs a jewelry store. This horse card is indeed worth 10 million. Wokeo is actually the owner of the Jade City in the capital city. What a special thing, such expensive jade is just casually thrown on the table, not afraid of being robbed. Yes, I just looked at it. The most expensive item on the old man's table is this horse brand, and the rest, at least the least, are all made of glass, which are very precious. I'm numb, I'm numb. This village has a bit of an evil sect. Can I just go in and get a horse cart and leave? Do you think the village is full of fools? Have you seen those big men on the grassland? In the live broadcast room, countless people were shocked by the boldness of Yunxian village. The Emperor Green, which has been snatched by others outside, is just an ordinary brand here. Speak up. Who can balance their psychology? Is this really Emperor Green? It's really beautiful. Even greener than the imperial green jade worn by my mother, and the color is even more authentic. Yang Mi carefully compared the imperial green jade hanging on her chest. I suddenly felt a loss of color. I also spent several million to buy it myself. The color is incomparable to this. Yang Mi's hand holding the Emperor's green horse card trembled a bit. This is so special. If you accidentally break your horse card, I can't afford to pay for it myself. She carefully grasped the horse tag tightly and then came to a carriage. In no time, a few young people who were planning immediately walked over. Respected guests. I am the coachman of Car 1, it's my pleasure to serve you. Just stood in front of the carriage, I saw a young man with a smile on his face. It forms a sharp contrast with the indifference just now. Still so passionate and snobbish. Yang Mi nodded. Take out your horse card. The groom dared not neglect and immediately took it out, inserting it into a slot under the carriage. Just like a key. The carriage even emitted a glow. The people watching the live broadcast thought they were blinded. Please get in the car. The groom immediately removed a stool from inside, placed next to the carriage, then he made a gesture of invitation to Yang Mi. Yang Mi also nodded. I immediately stepped onto the stool and got on the carriage. The decorations inside are very beautiful, there is a small coffee table with a plate of fruits on top. Most importantly, there is a girl in ancient costume sitting cross-legged there. Yang Mi was slightly taken aback by the sight. Just when she thought she was sitting wrong, the girl gave her a plump bow. Miss, I am the maid of this carriage. Specially responsible for taking care of your journey. Miss, please take your seat. The sound is very pleasant to the ear, the girl dressed as a maid has a very handsome appearance. Especially her big, watery eyes, I don't know how many teenagers I have captivated. Sleeping slot. This girl looks good. If I could marry her, it would be worth dying. I didn't expect there to be a maid, she really knows how to play. That's it, it's not worth so much money. Can you say that you can do something you like with the maid? That's really a bit of anticipation. Many men immediately felt a sense of joy in their hearts. It seems like I saw myself, in the carriage, there is a scene of communication with the maid. This kind of fairyland, plus such a considerate maid. It's really a satisfying experience. Chapter 6. Carriages can fly, what is this immortal land? You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Miss, do you want to have tea or fruit? If you want to drink tea, the little girl will brew it for you immediately. The maid saw Yang Mi sitting down, immediately asked with a smile on his face. Yang Mi shook her head. Not yet. Let's talk later. I'll take a look at the scenery first. Yang Mi now most wants to know how this carriage and horse should run. After all, there is no way out of this cliff at first glance. How do we get to Yunxian village? Not just her, the audience in the live broadcast room are also full of curiosity. Immediately fly the drone out. Follow Yang Mi above. Make sure she's safe. Watching Yang Mi get on the carriage, Special Police Captain Zhuang Fan also immediately issued the order. Yes, Captain. The soldiers responsible for reconnaissance also dare not neglect. Immediately took off the drone. The drone emitted a roar and quickly flew into the sky, sinking into the clouds. Miss, sit still. The carriage is about to depart. The voice of the coachman echoed outside the mountain. After the coachman finished speaking, just picked up the whip and swung it with a loud sound. The horse immediately spread its hooves and started running. The speed is so fast, in the blink of an eye, I had already rushed to the edge of the cliff. And what's frightening is that, the carriage not only did not stop, but also accelerated towards the cliff. Yang Mi's face turned pale with fear. Stop. Stop the car quickly. It's too dangerous. Yang Mi quickly drank loudly and coquettishly. She doesn't want to die. I still have a great youth, how could I just die here? Even the special police officers looked at it, they all immediately became nervous. They want to take immediate action to rescue Yang Mi. But it seems like it's too late. Mississippi. Don't worry. This is not dangerous. The maid sitting next to her had a calm expression on her face. Smiling at Yang Mi, she said. Done. I'm dying. Cousin. You killed my mother. Yang Mi, on the other hand, completely does not believe it. She closed her eyes in despair. Sleeping in bed. Seeking wealth and harming life. Don't, my goddess. Be sure to report to the police, this village is filled with butchers. Yes. I want to call the police. Countless people have seen this scene, they are all about to crack, they didn't expect this village to be so insane. Under the premise of Yang Mi's live broadcast, dare to drive people off the cliff. This is no longer just about seeking wealth or killing someone, this is simply trampling on the dignity of the law. Countless people picked up their phones, just as they were planning to call the police, the next scene, let them stare blankly. Many people's phones fall directly to the ground without realizing it. Sleeping slot. What did I see? The carriage sailed through the air. Nima. This Newton's coffin board is almost covered. Damn it. What's going on here? How did this carriage do it? I'm sorry. I've wasted more than 10 years of quality education. This is not scientific at all. What a special thing. It feels like coming to a world of immortals and knights. Yes, this experience is really extraordinary. I'm a bit tempted to give it a try, hundreds of thousands, for me it's just a small sum of money. Seeing this shocking scene, countless playboys have begun to develop a strong curiosity about this immortal village. This flying carriage, just this kind of experience is worth hundreds of thousands. They have only experienced helicopter planes, but this carriage is still their first time. And this carriage has no power device at all, how did it achieve suspension? Such a magical place, even if Newton came, he might be slaughtered. There's no way. It's so interesting. I didn't actually die. What's going on here? Yang Mi is waiting for the carriage to crash, at this moment, I couldn't help but open my eyes. Because she didn't feel her body falling for a long time. So, she opened her beautiful big eyes. Next up. Her beautiful eyeballs were about to pop out. It's really unbelievable. How could it be like this? How can a carriage fly? After Yang Mi was shocked, looking at the calm maid sitting there. Perhaps only she can answer her own doubts. She didn't even have time to appreciate the beautiful scenery here. At this moment, she. Just a curious baby. This is nothing. It's just an environment equivalent to space. The people in our village travel like this. If you come more times in the future, there's no need to worry. The maid said indifferently. Oh, really? The world is so magical, how could there be such a place? Yang Mi expressed disbelief. If there really is such a floating valley in this world. It was already discovered by someone. Like scenes from mythology, appearing in reality. It's really shocking. Of course. Otherwise, how could I charge you so much? The maid jokingly said. So beautiful, here. However, I'm just a bit tired. I didn't sleep today, I feel my eyelids are heavy. Yang-mi feels like her eyes are in a fight. Such a beautiful scenery, after relaxing, she suddenly felt a sense of exhaustion. Sleeping in bed. No way, honey, don't sleep. Yes, isn't there any kind of overpowering drug or something like that? It's possible, after all, this village looks a bit sinister at first glance. If you fall asleep, let someone slaughter you. Chapter 7. Villages with airports, high-speed rail stations, hospitals. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Honey, just slap yourself a few times and you won't be tired anymore. In the live broadcast room, everyone can feel Yang-mi's fatigue. Really, she doesn't have many holidays either. In order to come to Yunxian village, she has been running on the road for 2 consecutive days. Because it's really difficult to come to Yunxian village. The morning flight passing by Yunxian village departs at 6 o'clock and returns at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. If missed, you can only stay overnight in the village. Mississippi. Drink some tea from here, you won't be tired soon. I guarantee it will keep you energized. At this moment, the beautiful voice of the maid reached Yang-mi's ears. Yang-mi nodded in confusion. He picked up the teacup handed over by the maid. This teacup is so special, it's the most precious purple clay teapot. Yes, the kind worth millions, my family specializes in selling this. Sleeping trough. No way, what kind of tea is enough to make such a precious teapot? It looks like it's still freshly cooked. I can't tell from this tea, it doesn't seem like it's from the market. Didn't you hear the fairy say that? This is local tea. Many people are discussing there. Some people also feel that, there must be some medicine or something in this tea. However, at this time, most people are very rational. I think this Yunxian village, although black, is really very black. But it's not enough to confuse customers. They dare to do business so openly, they must have some reliance. Even if the website crashes due to being reported by the public, I haven't seen anyone from the Cultural and Tourism Bureau come out and say they want to seal off Gosien village. It can be seen from this. This Cloud Machine village. There are really 2 brushes. The relationship is strong enough. This tea, drink it well. How fragrant. After drinking it, I don't feel sleepy in an instant. How did this happen? Can I buy some of this and drink it back? After drinking a small glass, Yang-mi, who was originally extremely tired. Her eyes immediately became incredibly bright. The whole person appears energetic and energetic. Even the original dark circles under the eyes seem to have disappeared. This makes Yang-mi feel too magical. Sleeping trough. Is this tea so divine? Have you noticed that Miss Mi's dark circles under her eyes have disappeared? That's true. Just after sweating, when I put on makeup, I saw her dark circles under her eyes. It's amazing, what kind of tea is this? I must go there for a walk. It's not too late, I'll set off right away. Many playboys, make up your mind immediately, be sure to take a stroll around this immortal village. Because everything inside seems very magical. Mississippi. Tea has arrived in the village where there is a dedicated sales area. 1 million or 2, it's not expensive at all. You can purchase it yourself. Upon hearing the maid's words, the people in the live broadcast room were all struck by lightning. This is so special. It's not ordinary black. What? 1 million or 2, why not go grab it? Yeah, the most expensive tea in the world is not as expensive as you. Yeah, can you become immortal after eating this tea? Unscrupulous merchant. Hurry up, and at the Special Price Bureau, let them come and check the water meter. Special Price Bureau. I can't get in. If you have the ability, can you take me flying? Haha. In the live broadcast room, I was originally condemning the high prices here, but they were all brought to joy by this person Lao Lu. It's just that most people don't care too much about it. After all, this is just a scam on the money of those wealthy people. It seems to have nothing to do with them. They don't have the spare money to play anyway. Just the tickets are enough for their annual expenses. Oh, what are the buildings on the mountaintop? How does it feel like an airport? Yang Mi's gaze turned to the outside. I don't want to discuss tea anymore. She felt that this tea was indeed too expensive. Sure enough. This village is really dark. Capturing someone is an endless darkness. Even if she has some money, it's probably not enough to consume here. She is very skeptical. My innocent cousin is just spending too much here. After running out of money, I sold myself. Look at the village, you can't eat anything casually. Otherwise, I estimate that the wealthy will go in and become negative when they appear. Yang Mi reminded herself secretly. There are many tricks in the village, she must take it step by step. We must not be fooled by these villagers. That's the airport. In the future, anyone who comes to our Yunxian village can come by plane. In the future, our village will be built into the world's #1 scenic spot. The maid said with a hopeful expression on her face. Obviously. She was also brainwashed. The first attraction. Who would go to such a dark place? Many people feel extremely contemptuous. What about over there? Yang Mi pointed to another mountain and asked. That way, it's a private airport. A place where private planes are parked. Over there, it's the high-speed rail station. That's our primary school, hospital. Upon hearing the introduction of the maid, Yang Mi felt numb now. In such a small village, there is even an airport. And there's more than just one. Who should I argue with about this special thing? And there are also high-speed rail cars. How much does this cost? So many mountaintops have been flattened, I don't know how much manpower and material resources it will consume. Yes, is it necessary to spend so much money on building scenic spots? How could such a poor county get so much money? Isn't it putting pressure on the local people again? In the live broadcast room, countless people were spitting up their food there. Such incidents have occurred quite frequently in China. There are many impoverished county towns that carry out some face-saving projects in order to increase GDP. Result. If the data looks good, the people will suffer. All the money used for infrastructure construction has been wasted. Chapter 8. Are airports and high-speed trains self-built? What kind of soil? You are listening at Novel Full.audio. How were these air tickets approved for high-speed rail construction? Are there any big shots in your village? Yang Mi asked curiously. After reading the messages in the live broadcast room, she also, I can't help but ask. After asking, I realized it was a bit inappropriate. After all, this is a secret in the village. What if she gets upset and throws her off the cliff? Even the audience in the live broadcast room were nervously watching the maid, especially the coachman driving the carriage outside. Afraid that something might happen to Yang Mi. No. How could our poor village possibly receive so much funding? These countries didn't pay a penny, they were all repaired by Yun Xianchang from the village. The province just signed a letter agreeing to our construction. All the money is from our village. The maid said indifferently. Are they all from the village? Where did you get so much money? Yang Mi asked. I don't quite understand this. Yun Xianchang said we will use the land in the village as investment. All the money is from him, we hold the shares. The maid frowned and said. She doesn't understand these things. But she understood that Yun Xianchang would definitely not harm them. After all. Since the arrival of Immortal Yun, the people in their village have all lived a happy life. No longer need to go out to work, you don't need to become a car slave or a house slave anymore. The village also has various infrastructure. Those who treat illnesses and study do not spend money. What else do they have to complain about? What's so special about this cloud immortal? Where did he come from, and where did he come from? Yeah, why isn't it from our village? A village has an airport, a hospital, a primary school, and a high-speed rail station, which is so special. I'm so speechless, I envy you so much. I'm a bit jealous. Countless people are watching these well-established infrastructure, they are all incredibly shocking. The infrastructure of this village is better than that of an ordinary prefecture-level city. What a special thing. This is outrageous. Look, brothers, what is that? Is it a giant cannon? Lie down. No way, it looks like it is. And that one over there, you see, doesn't it look like a rocket launch well? Nima, won't you? How cruel this village is. Worry. This village, isn't it about wanting to rebel? Countless people, seeing several hills behind, several incredibly huge cannons stand tall, looking incredibly imposing. The muzzle is made of unknown metal, emitting a faint cold light. Many people were scared to pee when they saw it. Is that a cannon? In the village, can we do this kind of thing? Yang sat on the carriage, can more intuitively feel the impact of this cannon. Because it's really too big, the barrel alone is several tens of meters high, like a giant standing there. Seeing Yang big and beautiful eyes, they are almost not enough. Of course it is. Hush. I heard the maid's calm answer. Everyone took a deep breath of air conditioning. It seems. This so-called cloud immortal. Having grown all over the bones. Otherwise. How dare you place cannons on this hill? This is simply seeking death. However, you don't have to be afraid. These are all for taking photos for tourists. The appearance is just cool, it looks like a commodity. The maid explained lightly. This made everyone breathe a sigh of relief. Lying down. I'm scared. Indeed, if it's really a cannon, who dares to go? But why don't I believe the maid's words at all? I also have an intuition that this cannon is real. Judging from the level of darkness in this village, they must have the courage to create something real. And that launch well, I studied this major, it's even more professional than the launch wells in our launch base. Countless people expressed disbelief in the words of the maid. Of course, most people still feel that, this village. There's no such cowardice either. That cannon. It's absolutely impossible to dare to create it casually. Otherwise. That will seriously threaten the security of the country. A research institute in Beijing, a research center for a certain rocket launch base, the door was pushed open by someone. An old man inside couldn't help but frown. Xiao Chen, what's going on with you? Mao Mao is restless. Didn't you see that I'm doing research? Academician Qian looked at Xiao Chen with a dissatisfied expression on his face. This is his apprentice. Very talented. But it's just being young and impulsive. If anyone sees this old man, they know that he is an authority in rocket launch research. Our famous Dongfeng Express, it's Qian Lao. Qian Lao, something big has happened. Take a look. This. Apprentice Chen Qing dare not neglect. Immediately handed over his live broadcast footage to Qian Lao. Live streaming. Let me see what this is for. Yu Zhao Lai is becoming more and more corrupt. Hiss. This. Surprisingly, it's a launch well, so SCI.FI and advanced. More than 10 times more advanced than ours. Qian Lao's words have not been finished yet, he immediately noticed the launch well. Although he is quite far apart, he always pays attention to details, the extraordinary features of this launch well were quickly discovered. His body trembled with excitement. He spent his whole life researching advanced weapons for the country. He is very clear about what this discovery of the well means. Just looking at the design of this launch well, I understand. Its power is very strong, enough to cover any range around the world. And the speed will go deep and fast. He devoted his entire life to the research of directing launches, and he doesn't need to be too clear about this. Chapter 9. Vibration of the Academy of Sciences. Spy Yamamoto's plan to steal. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qian Lao, do you also think it's true? I can tell at a glance that it's extraordinary. That's why I'm telling you. I didn't expect this to be a real launch well. Chen Cheng is also very excited. Originally, he also unintentionally turned on Douyin while resting, then I want to watch a short video. I didn't expect to bring him such a big surprise. Because Yang Mi's live streaming traffic is very high, Douyin naturally recommends her first person. The probability of everyone getting it is very high. It's really true. Even if it's not true, the person who designed this type of launch well will still be true. Where is this? Book a plane ticket for me immediately. I'm going there to study. No way. Such talents must be secretly protected. I'll make a personal call to the higher-ups. After Qian finished speaking, excitedly reported this matter to the higher-ups. In no time, the director of the Rabbit Country Academy of Sciences hurriedly rushed to Qian Lao's research room. Qian Lao, are you telling the truth? If that's true, it would be of great help to China's scientific research progress. Dean Huang just came in, immediately asked excitedly. Although he doesn't have that deep research on missile launch wells, but he believes in Qian Lao's professionalism. He knew that Qian Lao was not someone who had no clear purpose. Nature is real. When did I lie? I always spit and nail at the same time. Qian Lao said firmly. Okay. We will immediately implement this matter. Such talents must be protected. If we don't help him, it's very likely to give the enemy an opportunity to take advantage. After all, researching weapons without authorization is a serious crime. Although they say it's about appearance, those enemy spies are related. As long as they operate, it will definitely make this talent very troublesome. Dean Qian excitedly said. After all, in this era, even those who sell toy guns, it's also possible to catch you. Not to mention, the towering steel cannons here make people shudder at first glance. If those enemy spies go online, this researcher will definitely face punishment. I understand. We'll set off immediately. Qian Lao nodded. I have also contacted the troops. And the security department will definitely send someone over to protect it. Let's go. Dean Huang finished speaking. I just grabbed Qian Lao's hand and walked outside the yard. In no time, an armed helicopter had already flown here. After the two of them boarded the plane, a group of soldiers have already been sent to the research institute. Surround this place. At 8 o'clock today, where are you? Have you seen anything that shouldn't be seen? One by one, the researchers were taken into the interrogation room for a simple inquiry, and everyone is required to sign the highest standard of confidentiality treaty. Many researchers looked bewildered. Only Qian Lao's assistant knows it well. However, he dare not mention it to anyone. That's a military secret. It's about the rise of Rabbit Country. Definitely not to be known by those spies. Baga Kingdom is located in a certain base in Yunshi. Yamamoto Isoroku is studying the live broadcast footage here. Enter the live broadcast room. His main purpose is also to see if there is an opportunity to provoke opposition among people from different regions. Anyway, anything that is detrimental to the unity of Rabbit Country is something they enjoy doing. Today, he kept stirring up various topics in the live broadcast room. Unexpectedly, he saw this missile launch base. The first thing he thought of was, it must be a launch base secretly placed by the country here. The reason why it exploded through live streaming, probably also to deceive spies from various countries. I want them to feel that this place is just a decoration. But Yamamoto Isoroku is very shrewd, being able to defeat major elite groups and stand out. He naturally has a more intelligent mind. Someone. A ninja-dressed man in black walked in. He seemed to be living in a shadow. The whole person emitted a strange fluctuation. Yamamoto Taijun, what orders do you have? The man in black asked respectfully. On the Cloud City side, immediately send someone to test this launch base. Find out it's true or false. I suspect this is a mist bomb fired by Rabbit Country. The existence of this base has had a huge impact on the security of our Baga country. Yunshi is a typical southern city. The straight line distance from their Baga Kingdom is not far either. Before. They often land and plunder through southern cities in Baga Kingdom. I understand, Taijun. I'll arrange it right away. Every city has our underground gang in Fusang. We can send them to cause trouble and test the situation. The black-clad ninja said respectfully. Well, go ahead. Send some of our professionals in as tourists. Then, with the help of taking photos, study carefully. Be sure to get detailed data. Yamamoto 56 said. He understands. If this is truly a director's launch site, there will inevitably be secret troops stationed there. Since the people of Rabbit Country pretend to be clever and think they can deceive the great Baga spy, then they are too arrogant. In Bunny Country, Yamamoto Isoroku had already mastered Sun Tzu's art of war. This trick is a cover-up. May have deceived those brainless spies in the West. But it's absolutely impossible to hide from him. Yamamoto 56. He knows too much about the urine habits of rabbits. Empty is true. Actually, it's just empty. Ha-e. Get off the horse and arrange. Chapter 10. Aunt Yang-mi comes, her voice swirls. You are listening at novel full.audio. Oh, my stomach hurts so much. On the flying carriage, looking at the pleasant scenery around, Yang-mi felt as if she was in a fairyland. At this moment, she felt like a fairy. In such a moment, she seemed to understand why her cousin wanted to marry here. This is simply. It shouldn't be the scenery that humans should have. However, at this moment, a sharp pain suddenly came from her abdomen. I didn't expect it. The last few days that should have appeared have come again. Because she has been quite busy since creating her own studio. Having ruined my own body, previously mild menstrual pain, now every time it appears, it can make her feel excruciating pain. Beads of sweat the size of beans, slid down from her forehead. Yang-mi bit her sexy lips tightly, don't let yourself make a sound. Sweat has turned that face into a colorful one. The makeup that I finally put on, they have all turned into accident scenes. However, now no one pays attention to these. Countless people are very concerned about Yang-mi's situation. Sleeping trough. What's wrong with this? Women all have illnesses, you don't understand. Hurry up and take him to the hospital. Why is this person so immature? Yeah, I don't know how the hospital conditions in this rural area are either. Who knows? It's definitely not that good. I guess there's a situation where no one wants to work in this village where birds don't poop. Many people are spitting up there. Many people are comforting Yang-mi. After all, they are also true fans. Although Yang-mi's acting skills are not lacking, but when she's not in good health, she really cares about her. Are you okay, miss? What's wrong with you? Do you want to take it to the hospital? The maid asked nervously when she saw Yang-mi like this. She didn't expect it either. Surprisingly, such a thing can still be encountered in the car. If not handled properly, if the customer complains, she will be deducted money. It's okay. It's just Aunt's pain. Do you have hot water? Give me a cup of hot water to drink. It might be better, she said weakly. Yang-mi wiped the sweat off her face. Strive not to look so embarrassed. At this moment, she didn't even have the strength to hold the selfie stick, and the maid kindly took the selfie stick over. Took on the role of filming. So it's this. Miss, you eat this fruit. These fruits are beneficial for your body's recovery. After the maid finished speaking, pointed to the fruit in the tray. Speak to Yang-mi. This is simply nonsense. Yes, fruits have a cold nature and are not suitable for eating right now. Yeah, eating it would be even more serious. Honey, don't believe her. This maid must have no medical knowledge at all. Countless people are accusing the maid. At this time, one should not come up with wild ideas. After all, Yang-mi is a well-known first-tier actress. If something happens to her in the village, this village will be greatly affected. It will make people feel disgusted towards the village. Fruit. Is it really okay? Perhaps it hurts too much. Or perhaps it was because of witnessing the wonders here. Yang-mi looked at the maid eagerly. Nature. I won't lie to you. These fruits are all grown in this place full of spiritual energy. Dealing with some of your body's minor ailments is definitely not a problem, and eating too much can help with beauty and even eternal youth, which is not a problem. The maid said indifferently. Her words, I was immediately questioned by everyone. Are you joking? Youth lasts forever. Is this deceiving everyone like fools? Yes. Is there such a fruit in this world? If that's the case, the cosmetics factory will have to close down. It's just that. Countless people questioned the words of the maid. Of course, there are also some who are somewhat skeptical. After all, there are already some cults in this village. Just looking at this carriage flying in the air makes you feel like it's not in the same world. There will be some magical fruits here, it seems reasonable again. Yang-mi was filled with anticipation. He picked up a plum with difficulty and gently put it into his mouth. Just entered my mouth, that fruit is like incredibly sweet juice, it flowed down the throat and into the stomach. All the way down, enter her lower abdomen. Suddenly, she felt a cool sensation coming from her lower abdomen. That feeling was so comfortable that she couldn't help but make a sound. And this voice is also somewhat enchanting. The audience in this live broadcast room didn't react for a moment. I'm really ashamed. How could the old lady make such a shy voice? Damn it. Even Yang-mi couldn't help but shyly cover her face. My face turned red. Her face, now more than the peaches in a fruit platter, it seems to be even more pink and tender, it still makes people have an appetite. Sleeping trough. Did you just hear something you shouldn't have heard? Is this something special that someone like me who doesn't have a membership can enjoy? I didn't expect Miss Me's voice to be so captivating. If anyone marries Miss Me, don't be too happy. Countless men, they all express astringent expressions in the live broadcast room. In reality, it is estimated that everyone is drooling. Unfortunately, this voice is too short, like a hallucination. Now no matter what, Yang-mi is silent. She covered her mouth with her hand, making people feel extremely regretful and disappointed. A recent blockbuster, this moment came to an abrupt end. The audience all expressed that they couldn't adapt for a while. Of course, Yang-mi cannot satisfy these unscrupulous fans, otherwise Douyin would have been banned. She also blushed and looked out the window, to alleviate my extremely awkward mood.